This is the story of how a few rats turned into an army, how they took over the world's largest penguin colony, how these rodents are now threatening to destroy one of the most remote islands on Earth, and why it could be happening in your backyard right now. Rats have been spreading across the globe for centuries, but their impact has never been so extreme as here, on Macquarie Island, a tiny speck of land. In the middle of the Southern Ocean, Macquarie Island was once pristine wilderness. But when humans arrived here in 1910, they brought with them all kinds of invasive species, including rats that were left behind by sailors. These rats multiplied rapidly and spread throughout the island, destroying native vegetation and bird nests. The worst came in 1948, when a shipwrecked whaling vessel called the SS Fur Seal ran aground near the coastline to prevent the whales from being stranded. The crew had to abandon the boat. They set off for shore, leaving behind 2 surviving seals and 6 rats. Those rats would go on to change everything. As soon as they touched down, the rats began scavenging through the wreckage for food scraps. With no natural predators around to keep them in check, their population exploded. In just 5 years, there were more than 1 million rats living on the island. A single rat can produce up to 22 offspring every 3 months. That means 1 female rat can create for generations of her lineage within a year without any intervention. Scientists estimate there may be billions of rats worldwide today. Their ability to reproduce quickly, combined with their adaptability, makes them incredibly difficult to control. When you add in their voracious appetite and tendency toward destruction, it becomes clear why they pose such a threat to both wildlife populations as well as human crops. On Macquarie Island, the problem became even worse, because the island is home to some of the world's rarest seabirds, like albatrosses, who nest along cliff edges. These birds rely heavily on burrows made out of soil, dug deep underground, where they lay eggs during breeding season. Unfortunately, this also happens to be where rats prefer nesting too. So instead of digging new holes elsewhere, rats simply move into existing ones. By 1960, only about half of the original penguin colonies remained intact, due largely because of rat predation. Even though researchers attempted several times since then to eradicate these pests using poison traps, none proved successful enough yet. While efforts continue towards removing rats entirely from Macquarie Island, it seems unlikely anytime soon. Meanwhile, similar problems exist closer to home, across North America, with feral cats roaming freely outdoors, posing another serious danger, not only to local ecosystems, but also other endangered species like bobcat or mountain lion. Cats often hunt at night under cover of darkness, making them hard targets for conservationists trying desperately to protect vulnerable animals like ground squirrels or songbirds who depend upon safe spaces away from threats posed by larger mammals, such as coyotes or bears. Despite repeated attempts at trapping programs targeting specific areas known for high cat activity, success rates remain low overall. Last year alone saw nearly 60,000 seagulls killed, alongside countless other small creatures, by domestic pets. If we don't take action against invasive species now, before things get completely out of hand again, we risk losing entire ecosystems forever. It's not just about protecting our oceans anymore either. We need healthy grasslands filled with rabbits grazing peacefully, so amphibians can thrive alongside frogs, hopping happily amongst lily pads nearby. Without proper balance within each ecosystem component, entire habitats will collapse altogether. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning only to find fields barren due to overgrazing caused by deer because rabbits weren't allowed to roam free anymore. Or picture yourself walking outside after dark, only hearing crickets chirp softly instead of loud calls coming from migratory birds flying overhead. That's exactly what happened recently in parts of Australia, after farmers introduced native plants onto farmland, which disrupted indigenous flora already present there. Now those same farms face extinction-level events amongst native reptiles that call those lands home. The lesson learned here isn't complicated. Human actions matter greatly, whether intentional or unintentional alike. Our choices ripple outward, affecting others far beyond us. Let's start making better decisions together before history repeats itself somewhere else again.